Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got a matchup of my Zoro versus my opponent's Eustace Captain Kid here. And we're going to roll for whoever gets highest to see who would like to go first. And that's going to be me rolling the 9 right there. I elect to go first here. But yeah, Eustace Captain Kid is one of those leaders that Zoro can definitely struggle with. Kid and Doflamingo seem to be, in my opinion, the two toughest decks to go up against as Zoro. But it all depends on if your opponent is able to draw the correct cards, and you as well, playing as Zoro. So this turns out to be a really interesting match, and my opponent kind of showed me a lot of the strength of the green deck here. You know, green seems to be a lot of rest manipulation, you know, resting characters and putting those characters either in KO positions or being able to be attacked by the leader or characters on the field already. And we're going to get the game started off. I'll put down the Searcher Nami. Gonna look through the top 5 cards, see what we get. Definitely looking for, you know, a few cards to start off the right tempo. Honestly, Nico Robin's a phenomenal card. If we can get her to survive after playing her, that's just a huge win for our deck. Another thing is, you know, trying to find those choppers early on are really nice. But he's going to play the Beji and the Bonnie here, setting up for next turn. He's got the blocker, and he was explaining to me what the Bonnie was doing. That's why he rested it here, because I forgot that he needed to... I was wondering why he wasn't searching the cards. I forgot he needed to tap one extra Dawn in order to do that. But we switch over to my turn, and we're going to add 2 Dawn. We got 3 here. Can almost guarantee I'm going to play that Nico Robin and just pray that he doesn't have a way to rest it or somehow KO it. I mean, with 4 Dawn, he could play a killer here early if he has it in hand and just knock out. Oh, actually, no, he wouldn't be able to knock out the Nico. That's right. It has to be a rested card. So he will tap 1 Dawn, pick up the 8-cost Eustace Captain Kid. And that's, you know, that's the big scary card. So at the end of this game, I mean, that's the card I really need to be worried about. Once he gets to 10 Dawn, shoot, I mean, playing it even on 8, and then on 10 having, you know, all the free, you know, stuff to do with his deck. I mean, it's a terrifying card for red later on. So I have to end this early. But he puts down the Okiku. So I believe that card is Dawn X1 when attacking. Rest a character of 5 cost or less. So it can be comboed really well with trying to clear the board, but also use some of those cards in green that can return cards to hand or KO cards. So a lot of opportunity there for him. And I put down the Zoro here. If you've watched the past couple of videos, a common reoccurring issue of mine that I've been working on and learning to do better is sequencing and what I should be doing first. And you should always try and, well, maybe not always, but you should a lot of the time try and use what's on your board first before you start playing cards from your hand. That's what I've learned, at least. And so I should have probably swung with Nico here, but I guess I wanted to use the Brook to try and get the 2 rested Dawn. And so I take out the Bonnie, use Nico's ability to get rid of Beji, and I'll swing for 5. He'll block with 1 on that Raizo. Swing for another 5 on Zoro. I think he takes the hit here. I don't think he counters this. But yeah, I rest the Nico, forgot to, when swinging. Yep, and so he takes the hit here. And now we're just trying to make some moves. We are trying to make some moves. Not doing too bad, though. I think with the board we have right now, it feels good. But green can clear that real easily. Just takes a few cards. And so he's going to do that beautiful order of operations and use what's on his board first. He attacks Nico Robin and will rest my Brook. And so I would like for the Nico not to die, if possible. But it's kind of a tough call. Do you counter? I'm not super worried about the cards in my hand at this moment. I'm really just trying to end the game as quickly as possible before that 8-drop kid comes down. So I will counter for 3k right there. And I rest the Brook. And of course, he'll play the Drake, which KOs any character. I believe it's either 4 cost or less. It might be 5 cost or less. Yeah, that is rested. So he will take out pretty much my entire board there. Takes out the Nico Robin, takes out the Brook. I'm still left with the Zoro, though, which is at least a little bit, you know, a breath of fresh air. I still have one thing on the board that can do something. And now I think we are up to 7 Dawn? Should be up to 7 Dawn, I believe. And trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're going to play the Searcher Nami. Try and get something good out of the search here. And I think at this point, it's kind of tough for me to realize what should be the best opportunity. Should I be looking for jet pistols and otamas to try and deal with the kid? Or should I be trying to get rush cards like this Sanji and go straight to the face and be as aggressive as possible? So I elect to go for the Sanji here. We've got 6 Dawn remaining. And I think a good choice on my part would be to try and swing for the Okiku and, you know, get some damage done. So we're going to rest 2 and we're going to put the Sanji down. Yeah, which yet again is just a misplay out of turn. Like I should just wait to put him down until I've done some damage, but swing for 6 on the Okiku. And I know that he's definitely trying to keep that card alive, so he'll counter 2 with Scratch Mana Poo right there. But I've still got my Zoro to swing for 6 if I want to. I'm still thinking about what I want to do with some of this Dawn. And yeah. I can't remember if at this point I was trying to play mind games by acting as though I was about to rest some of my Dawn. But I'll swing for 6 at lead here. I said, you know what? I'll let the Okiku live, and I'll just get some damage done. I'll put down another Zoro and swing for 6. And my opponent's going to counter here, getting rid of another Raizo and Momonosuke. So I'll pass turn, and opponent is down to 2 life. We have 4, but we've got a pretty good board presence. I picked up his leader card here just because I was forgetting exactly what the ability was. And that's when, you know, Captain Kidd is scary. You get to that 10 Dawn phase and he can swing for, you know, 12 twice. It's pretty terrifying. And even lower amounts if he wants to use some other Dawn, in, you know, before the turn. So definitely doing my best to try and finish this up as quickly as possible. But he's going to tap that Bonnie, do a search, and see if he can come up with something good here. I know he's probably looking for maybe a blocker or 2, but Killer's a great card to pull here. Yeah, Killer can take care of guaranteed one of my Zoros. And then he has Okiku as well as X-Drake to try and deal with some of the rest. But I guess it was a good thing I didn't swing with Sanji. I did not swing with Sanji the past turn because I was trying to make sure that I could set up a KO. But he does rest my Sanji right here using the Okiku, which is very smart. And that's where that green dawn, or excuse me, rest manipulation will come in, you know? Cards like the Nekomamushi, resting cards over and over again can be extremely frustrating to deal with. But it looks like he's going to do 7 to my Zoro here. I'll just take that. So we lost both Zoros, and Sanji is vulnerable at the moment. Excuse me. But we're going to have either 10 Dawn or 9 Dawn next turn, so I'm feeling pretty good. We'll swing for 6, or he'll swing for 6 on my life. I'll take that hit. And he'll KO the Sanji with the killer play at the very end. And I think he passes turn here. And this is where, you know, it's a little scary for me. He's got a lot of board control. I know that next turn he's definitely going to be dropping that 8 cost kid, you know. So I've got to do as much as possible to either board clear and set up for the kid, or just go straight to the face and pray to God he doesn't have enough counters. But he has quite a hand. So I asked him how many he has in hand right now, and I think, it's hard, they're blending together. It looks like he has 5, but I'll swing with the Nami and take out the Bonnie here. The fact that he didn't touch his cards at all shows me that, you know, he's definitely waiting for that, you know, that rush. He's waiting for me to go, you know, as hard as possible towards this, you know, life right here. And we put down the 5 cost Luffy. I'm not sure, yet again, don't like my order of operations that I play these cards, but hey, it is what it is, you know? I'm gonna rest 1, search Nami, and I think I'm praying that I find a 3 cost Zoro here. I'm like, okay, I need to get 3 swings in, and look at that, we find the 3 cost Zoro. I need to get 3 swings in and hope that he doesn't have enough to counter some of this. And this is where I'm bouncing in my head. Do I go for life, or do I try and go for board clear? I really feel as though probably the best thing to have done was go for some board clear, but I swung for life and he didn't counter. So I said, okay, I'll swing for life one more time. He didn't counter. I'm going to swing for life one more time just to see, you know, see what we got going on. And no way, he has no counters. It was kind of a gutsy call, because he might have been able to take me out next turn. And yeah, he had no counters. I just had to rush as much as possible, and you know, it ended up working out. This was kind of a scary game though, because I think had he even had just 1 2K, you know, he would have survived that. So can't really complain that it worked out the way it did, but I had a couple, what was that, a 2K and a 1K counter in hand, so I would have been able to deal with maybe maybe an attack, potentially 2, depending on how he ordered it, but we'll take the dub any way we can get it. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.